All right, we're ready to get started. Hello and welcome, everybody. My name is Beatrice. Beatrice Stone here, the Senior Account Manager at GoZone Wi-Fi. Here to introduce to you very special guest today, Elizabeth Weddle. She is the director of our amazing marketing team. They truly do a great job supporting the company and supporting a lot of our clients that they work with.
Hello, we are super excited to talk to you today about uncovering the hidden value of Wi-Fi analytics. So that sounds a little bit mysterious. We're gonna just start from the top and dive into Wi-Fi analytics.
We're very excited about this. Whether you are a partner with GoZone Wi-Fi or you're hearing about us for the first time or you are interviewing us right now, this is a really great question because one of the things I hear a lot from our partners is, what is this really, and what is the best way to talk about it? So between my team and our marketing team, we put this great presentation together for you. So let's get started. Elizabeth, take it away.
All right, so in the next 20 or so minutes, we are going to discuss a few things. We do want this to be collaborative and more of a conversation. So you will see that there's a chat function on the webinar. Our marketing enthusiast, Asa Hedstrom, is manning the chats. So feel free to shoot over any questions you might have, and we will try to get to those either during the presentation or right after. You'll see our contact information at the end of the slides. So on our agenda for today, we are going to first start off by defining Wi-Fi analytics. As Beatrice mentioned, what is it? What's the best way to talk about Wi-Fi analytics? Then we're going to dive into the state of the market, Wi-Fi analytics market. Where is it today? Where is it going? Why is this a space that we are totally obsessed with? And why should you be too? And then next up, why should your clients care? How do you really get them to see the huge value behind Wi-Fi analytics? And then addressing potential objections. This is one of Beatrice's strong suits and something that we work very closely together on. We do a lot of research here at GoZone so we can help our partners address any potential objections that you might get during the sales process. So we have a couple great tips for that. And then we'll share a few things about what we're doing here on the ground floor at GoZone to be industry leaders in the Wi-Fi analytics market. So let's get started. So what is Wi-Fi analytics? At a high level, Wi-Fi analytics is data collected over Wi-Fi networks, right? We all knew that. In order to best describe Wi-Fi analytics, we put this into three different categories: presence analytics or location analytics, guest analytics, and advertising analytics. Sometimes you'll see people talk about marketing analytics, people analytics, behavior analytics. We like to use these three categories. So here's a quick visual on the three types of Wi-Fi analytics. This is how GoZone breaks down the powerful data that we collect over Wi-Fi networks. So Beatrice, do you want to get started with presence analytics? How do we talk about that?
Absolutely. Now, Elizabeth, before I get started, a question for you. So we're defining analytics in three different ways. Is this all presented through one dashboard, or or are there several dashboards?
Good question. So at GoZone, we actually have three separate platforms or dashboards that we use to display, convey, and analyze the analytics that we collect. And when we were developing our platforms, we did that on purpose because as managed service providers, as Wi-Fi experts, we know that the end venue is always in control. And each venue has different needs. For example, a mall might really want to know analytics about how people move through it, but they may not want as much of the advertising analytics. So we developed three separate platforms, three separate views, so that all types of different venues, different end clients can benefit from the data.
Thank you for that. She's absolutely right, my friends. So let's go ahead and get started with presence analytics. I have to say presence analytics is probably the latest hot topic and one of the platforms that is actually growing the most, even beyond the marketing for Wi-Fi platform. Footfall trends and dwell times, traffic patterns, heat map, all of that funnels into the map and essentially able to, on that map, see how a guest is entering, their flow of their visit, and even their exit strategy. Now, because of that, it's a trend, right? You're learning the trends of that guest. Along with that is we do have presence analytics mostly actually at this point in time being utilized in malls. Why? Because in malls and in place where you have a lot of guests congregating, you want to learn behavior. You want to learn where are they congregating the most. Have you gone into mall and see ad placements? That's the reason. A lot of times they will strategically place notes, and with that they want to see where are guests congregating in relation to this note. With that, you will now put advertisement because of data that's coming through.
Right. And traditionally, when you're selling a print advertisement or a digital ad of any time, you're able to, as an advertiser from the marketing world, you're able to put those types of analytics into a media kit and say, with this ad buy, you're guaranteed to get X amount of impressions. Well, in a physical space, until very recently, physical venue owners weren't able to share that type of analytics. It was all a guesstimate based on your eyeballs, right? Well, we guesstimate that, we have 2,000 people pass by this area per day. Now these types of venues can actually gather and report on that analytics and get a direct ROI from presenting that analytics to either third-party advertisers. Maybe as a landlord of a mall, you can present that to potential tenants. The possibilities are really endless.
And with that, with the possibility of being endless, let me share with you a use case for one of our current partners. They have this at a mall. This mall has several locations. So what they are doing is, because our dashboard aggregates data as far as MAC addresses and what MAC address hit what specific AP access point, they are able to now say, okay, at this mall, MAC address X went to, but we also saw that they went to these other malls. So now you're able to not just obtain data, but you can actually use that data, compare it to your other locations, and now start learning what percentage of your clients are going to not only that specific location, but other locations. So it's invaluable, and really there's a lot of ways analytics for Wi-Fi can be used in not just learning and not just utilizing the tools in that platform, but you can actually get very creative in how to use it. So slice it and dice it in whichever way you need to. Let's go to the next one, marketing analytics. So marketing analytics and presence analytics works together. However, presence analytics is the entity. Marketing analytics ties the identity. So Elizabeth goes to a mall with both presence and marketing. In presence, we're going to capture her MAC address, but marketing is going to tell us how many times she logged on to Wi-Fi, her name, her MAC address, and whatever other information we're able to generate from her.
So there is a little bit of overlap between presence and marketing analytics, because in presence analytics, you're able to report on how many guests are new versus returning, right? Mm-hmm. But you don't know who they are until it hits marketing analytics.
Exactly. But it's very powerful in presence because you don't need the buy-in of the guests.
Correct.
You're just obtaining information exclusively for the use of, this is how populated this specific area is.
So this is like Google Analytics for the real world. Right?
Exactly.
And as a marketing professional, I live and breathe Google Analytics, and I live and breathe the next step of Google Analytics, which is creating targeted audience segments and remarketing to that audience. And that's really what marketing analytics is all about. So that's about really understanding, as Beatrice said, the identity, and then remarketing, re-engaging with those customers. So that's collecting information such as demographics. There's an exchange of data, right? As maybe one of the tenants in this mall, I've asked for you to share your social information with me in exchange for a coupon. Now I'm becoming a loyal guest of the mall because I've agreed to sign up for marketing emails. I might get retargeted on social media. So now we're really creating that loyalty and building a relationship.
And back to kind of that collaborative experience. So now that mall is able to have a collaborative experience with that guest through the splash page, through new features that we've built in that will now allow you to obtain information beyond what you're collecting on the social front or upon logging on to Wi-Fi. Now we can ask questions of, what's your zip? How many times have you been here? Are you here with friends and family? What you can ask whatever it is that you want, and that's additional reporting information now that you're able to collect, and on top of that, push into whatever other means or dashboards or systems you may be using.
So Wi-Fi analytics really starts with the Wi-Fi, right? Wi-Fi is the means to those analytics, but the collection and reporting of analytics does not stop at that engagement of your guests logging into Wi-Fi. As a managed service provider or as a partner with GoZone, you are able to allow your clients to continue engagement post that transaction that occurs when logging into Wi-Fi, right? That's where analytics begin, but there's analytics that will continue to be collected through marketing re-engagements. Then you have open rates on emails, click-through rates on ads that are served. So a lot of times we talk about Wi-Fi as the means to these analytics, but it's certainly not the end.
Absolutely. Think of it as a very powerful aggregator of data. Very easy, not too much work put into it. All right.
Let's move on to the advertising analytics because this is one of our favorites.
It is, and it's one that is now finally taking off, and we're seeing the power behind it. This advertising analytics allows you demographics, affinity categories, which Elizabeth will touch up a little bit on, branded impressions, click-through rates, conversions, and return on investment. How do you do this with Wi-Fi? Very easy. It's a digital billboard, all post authentication. So once somebody successfully authenticates to Wi-Fi, that last page where they're directed to will actually be an advertising page where you can put as many pieces of advertisements on there that are actually clickable, that will take them to whatever site you link. It's really that simple. But don't let that simplicity fool in how powerful it actually is. We have clients actually most recently that have come to GoZone Wi-Fi specifically for this specifically for this platform, because it's just like a billboard, but it's a digital billboard you're serving. And it's one that it's easily editable, it's easily updated, and you have full control, and you're actually also able to give control to your client to change those advertisements in and out.
And a lot of times this might be the best foot in the door. Honestly, if you have clients that are a bit hesitant to use a tool like this, for example, if you work with festivals, events, or stadiums or arenas, a lot of those types of customers and those types of organizations have existing relationships with sponsors.
Absolutely.
They're selling a kit or a stack of ad placements throughout an arena or throughout a festival or event. This now becomes one of those impressions in the stack of placements that they're selling. So you're able to easily allow your clients to throw that in. And it's more than, you might get in selling to an advertiser a billboard, because as Beatrice mentioned, this is digital. Everything is tracked. And so anyone who's in the advertising world is going to be very familiar with the types of analytics that you're able to get from the back end, the impressions, the click-through rates, and that proven ROI. So all three of these types of analytics help to drive ROI, right?
Absolutely.
The return on your Wi-Fi investment, but advertising analytics is the most direct ROI.
And let me put it to you this way. As a service provider, meaning you are offering a service to your clients. So as a service provider, these three components, presence, marketing, advertising, these are tools for you that you put in your toolbox to help bridge the gap for your clients. One or all, but at the end of the day, the entire suite is very, very powerful in its most simplistic manner.
All right. Well, we are going to move on. Now I think we've covered the three types of analytics.
All right. There's a test coming. There's a test. Asa, test.
So the state of the market, Wi-Fi analytics market, I am always watching this every day, and the numbers keep getting better and better. So we looked at this number and we wanted to share this specific forecast with you today because this shows where we've come from and also where we're going. So in 2017, the market was valued at 2.8 billion. Today it's right around 3.4, and we're going to approximately 9.4 billion. So hard for anyone to really comprehend those numbers. But the takeaway from this is that we like to use the hockey stick analogy here. We really are just getting to that curve of the hockey stick, and this is about to take off. So I'm sure that you have clients that are asking for this, and the demand continues to grow. So if Wi-Fi analytics isn't something you're already investing in, there is still time to get in.
And we just have to say we're very happy to be in this space. As you can see, we're very passionate, but with those numbers, makes us feel a little better about it.
So why should your clients care? This was really one of the reasons we wanted to talk about this today, was based on a lot of feedback that we get. Obviously, we at GoZone live and breathe this. We love talking about it, but we want to make sure that our partners are absolutely empowered to understand the huge hidden value behind Wi-Fi analytics. So really, why should your clients care? And beyond that, why should you care enough to bring it to them?
In its most simplistic way, at the end of the day, this is all to increase loyalty in its most simplistic way. By utilizing, again, the tools in the toolbox, you have the ability, right, to speak to the guests, ask additional questions of the guests. But let's be real. This is all an effort to essentially tie yourself with the guest and really bring yourself to center, bring yourself to top to mind. There's so many ways by utilizing, especially the marketing for Wi-Fi tool, that you're able to, from the beginning, that SSID is that button is clicked, yes, connect to Wi-Fi, and you get that splash page. You are branding your business, which is already bringing you top to mind. Okay, through that, you can thank guests, you can promote. There's so much you can do, but the loyalty piece, by utilizing the messaging in the dashboard, and also to mention that through our dashboard, your client is able to use their own SMTP server, which now allows a more collaborative experience. That in itself is incredibly powerful and allows you to truly increase loyalty by not just sending an email and that email isn't respondable. Now you're truly saying, hey, feel free to email me. All walls are down.
Absolutely. And I think with that, I want to get to the drive new revenue piece last, but with that is you're really differentiating yourself as well. Not only just from the fact that each engagement should be special, but you as in your clients are offering a tool to their end customer that differentiates themselves from the competition. So if your clients are in the restaurant space, for example, and maybe it's a coffee shop, you may have to go up, interrupt the staff member, ask for a Wi-Fi password. Maybe the connection is weak or you're getting kicked off. I'm probably going to go to the coffee shop down the street because nobody's got time for that. And at that point, I'm going to find my coffee shop where I can log in, I can get a coupon in return for using my email address, and I have a simple user experience. At the same time, I'm learning more about my coffee shop's brand. I'm getting engagements from them. It's kind of a one-to-one relationship, and that's what customers come to expect. So as a service provider, you're not only able to offer a tool for your clients to have this amenity at their location, they are actually now offering an additional service to their customers that's going to increase their loyalty and differentiate themselves. And that's invaluable.
As a service provider, you're giving them the opportunity to enter a space right now, very new in its inception. Here in the US, Wi-Fi in this manner is very new. In Europe, this is already going on. But in this space is very new. I have a lot of conversations with clients that maybe at some point start to not see, they get a little comfortable. It's working really well. And so it's like, oh, well, I don't need this anymore. And then my question is, What is your competition doing? Maybe in the same plaza. What is your competition doing? You have great ingredients, maybe they have great ingredients as well. What are you doing to differentiate yourself? And that is a really important question, because as the market starts to get saturated with this, the new adopters have the strongest roots. You have the most complete list, you have a bigger list, your clients are already used to using this, and that typically takes us into the next one, branding and engagement. It's a natural progression. So much so that branding, as we know, starts leaving images in your head. So when it's like, hey, honey, what are we going to eat for dinner today? That brand is already in your head because you're consistently seeing it. It starts with that SSID, then you get that powerful splash page where you're not just branding your business, but you're promoting your business, or maybe you're using it to offset costs.
Right. And if you think about it, your clients wouldn't just use the most basic website builder to build their website where it's black and white, Times New Roman, circa 1990, right? They're not going to have that type of message on their website because each impression that they're making on their customer counts. Same thing goes for Wi-Fi. Why would they offer the most basic, mundane, and even it's a frictional process to have to put in a password and all of that? That's not an experience that they want to be putting out there. They want that impression to count. It's a first impression.
So right? It's edgy and it's a self-expression.
Yes.
It's edgy. It really is. When you go into a location and you see a branded splash page and it's asking you questions like, wow, this is technical. This is pretty cool. It's edgy.
And it's easy. Right.
It's easy.
It's user friendly, it's seamless, and it's the same every time. So consistency definitely counts for marketing, branding. You want every engagement to be consistent. All of these add up to driving new revenue, right? This is actually Wi-Fi is no longer an amenity. It's not a nice to have. As a business owner, it's a must have. It's something you must offer to clients and to customers if you have a brick and mortar business, right? What other utility can you generate revenue off of? Am I collecting data from the lights that I turn on? No. There's not any other utility that you're able to actually generate revenue off of. By installing Wi-Fi analytics, it's a plug and play, set it and forget it. It's building you a customer list, it's aggregating data, and at the end of the day, it's driving revenue for your clients. That's why your clients should care at the end of the day.
And it's all in the data. You can go back, and once you look at the data substantiates it.
It speaks for itself. So to that end, a couple potential sales objections. The one we hear most often from an SMB perspective, I don't have time, right? These types of customers are used to getting sales calls day in and day out for, here's a new marketing tool, here's a new advertising tool, add more data to your sales pipeline. The most common objection we get is, I don't have time. And it's hard to argue with that. I mean, raise your hand if you don't have enough time to get your list done every day. So Beatrice, how do you massage that one? How do you make customers feel like they can manage this, like this isn't going to be another thing on their to-do list?
So first I want to start off saying that as a service provider, when you start talking about this suite, the first thing you want to do is you want to go armed with the tools that you need, and that's educating yourself. You always want to educate yourself on the client that you're getting ready to go speak to. You look at their website, you look what if they have a loyalty program, if they don't have a loyalty program. You're going to see where the potential gaps are, and you're already going to have a solution. Then you're going to speak to your client and you're going to listen to what it is that they want or what they are struggling with. And here's where you come in, but you have to do the research. With not having enough time, first I want to say, secondly, I also want to say that as a service provider, you can help bridge that gap immediately before it even gets there by just offering some simple services to your client. It can be giving them a splash page, a really nicely branded splash page already. It doesn't take too much time to set up.
But I don't have any time. I'm a service provider and I don't have any time either.
We're here. We've got your back. We, Elizabeth, Beatrice, the GoZone Wi-Fi team. So we've heard, just like you're a service provider, we're a service provider as well, and we've heard that time and time again. So actually what both of our teams did was put our heads together, and we came up with these wonderful programs where now we offer to do this on your behalf. And if this is, and most of you have heard of this, but if you have any other questions about that, let us know. GoZone is literally here to help. We're here to help you bridge your gaps that will allow you to bridge your clients' gaps. So a lot of gap filling here.
Well, we've worked hard to understand that that is a potential objection, not only from, you know, the end venue, but also from service providers. Is this does take time, and it does take marketing expertise. So that's why we've developed an in-house marketing agency, essentially, to help you and your clients deliver on this product and truly make it a plug and play, set it and forget it, but come back and analyze. Because as a marketing expert, I would never suggest that you completely set and forget anything, truly. You always need to come back and do some analysis and adjustment. But for the most part, it's set it and forget it, and you can rely on our team to do those tweaks.
And so back to, I don't have time. If your client wants to be the one to manage this, it's pretty simple, and it's actually just simplifying what Elizabeth said is, when they get this product, encouraging them, all you need to do is spend a little bit of time. Look at your marketing strategy, work backwards. Spend a little bit of time up front building the foundation, a really well-branded splash page, a couple of questions of things that you would like to know about your guests that maybe you're not capturing right now through the login process. From there, the most important email, well, 2, thank you for coming. We hope to see you again. And then the second one is, we miss you. Maybe after 15 to 30 days with a coupon, incentivizing them to come back. Spend that little bit of time setting the foundation. Leave it alone for a little while. See how that works. Look at the data. Look at the numbers. What's your open rate? From there, after a couple of months, you can come and you can tweak. With mass marketing tools, you're in there every day. And you have to click the send button. Our dashboard is all triggered. It's all based off of an action or an inaction, but it's working for you on your behalf 24/7. And that will help ease your clients.
Okay, so you're gonna allow me to do this without taking up too much time, right? But this is a Wi-Fi tool, and I am the director of marketing at a restaurant, and I don't know anything about Wi-Fi. So I'm not technical, you know, this kind of scares me. I'm not sure I can handle this. What do you say to that?
So I'm the service provider, and my response to that is, we have your back. How big is your location? From there, we will configure your hardware and we'll ship it out to you. And I have you one better than that. If you're a service provider and you're offering this, right, GoZone Wi-Fi can also configure the hardware and ship it out on your behalf to your client. So there's a lot of beauty in that. And the dashboard, the product should work as is. If there's anything incredibly technical going on, that'll be between you, and that'll be between you and us. It won't, your client won't really need to be involved. So this, at the end of the day, really ends up becoming a marketing tool, not a technical tool for them.
So you're saying I can manage my Facebook page and I can look at my Google Analytics, so I should be able to do this.
Absolutely. Yes, you should.
All right, good deal. I'm in. So wrapping things up here, we wanted to share a few things that we've been doing at GoZone to lead the industry. GoZone has been involved in the Wi-Fi analytics industry specifically for almost 5 years, and our leadership has over 25 years plus experience in Wi-Fi specifically. So with that leadership, we do a lot of things to remain really active in the community of Wi-Fi, Wi-Fi analytics, marketing, and advertising. So a few things that we do are attend and speak at global events. We're very involved with the Wi-Fi Now, with the WBA, with a lot of these large industry organizations to make sure that we're not only developing to solve the problems that we see every day, but to solve problems that are up and coming with changes in infrastructure, with changes in the overall market landscape. So we definitely try to remain really involved, very active, and close in partnership.
Yes, we absolutely do. With that being said, is I know my team a lot works with you with the service provider, but also we have boots on the ground, so we're front line and center with you. A lot of what we develop, how we develop it, when we develop, is based off of your feedback. We're very passionate about what we do, but most importantly, we're passionate about you and your clients. We actually want to give you a product that is usable, that you want to use, that you're proud to use, that you're proud to sell, because we're proud of it. And with that, all of current, literally in production today, we have feature requests in production that didn't come from our minds, but it actually came from yours, or maybe your clients that you brought to us. So you have the opportunity here to have an open relationship with our team and ask us for things, or tell us what it is that you're looking for, and have those great meetings with us where we will develop on your behalf. And this is how we're leading the industry, because believe it or not, you are the ones with the great ideas that we end up building out, and then maybe it ends up becoming the next hot thing, and it gets picked up and redone.
It's all about listening and about partnership. And a lot
Absolutely.
of times our best partnerships and our best relationships come from our partners that maybe had a bad experience with a different company where they weren't getting that level of one-to-one interaction. We design and we build based on feedback, based on where the industry is going, and based on what we hear from you. So we're real people. We say that as a tech company and as a marketing company, and we stand behind that. And we lead the industry that way. So proof is in the pudding. If you have anything that you've been thinking of, anything that you've been kind of noodling on, hey, this would be something we'd love to see, well, let's talk about it. Now, what's next on a more specific front to that end of what we were just talking about? We are focusing on venue-driven enhancements. So we can't share anything super specific today, but in the near future, if you're a partner of GoZone, you'll be in the loop on that. And just to share something a little bit more specific, we are currently developing our advertising platform to provide more enhanced analytics, as well as some enhanced functionality on splash pages. So,
which is pre-authentication. That's key.
Yeah.
Pre-authentication.
So we're very excited about that. We're excited about some of where our focus is on the presence analytics, the advertising analytics, and really tying it all in so it works for the venue, letting the venue drive those decisions, and continuing to innovate, because there's never a dull moment. There's never a dull day. Things are always changing. We like to be one step ahead.
Well,
we covered a lot there, Beatrice.
We covered a lot, and I'm really excited to have everybody on board. I know a lot of you I am very familiar with, as GoZone Wi-Fi continues to support you. We will continue to put on the training webinars, these webinars that are more informative, and you know how to find us. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to reach out to us. We want to hear what you have to say, and how are you speaking about Wi-Fi analytics? Challenge yourself, test yourself, and continue to push yourself to really hone in that message for your clients.
Thank you, everyone, for attending, and we look forward to hopefully hearing from you soon.
Thank you so much. See you again. Until next time, my friends. Until next time.